Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. It's Tim Wilmore here from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for Goldmine 101, our regular series of short Goldmine presentations focusing on different topics around Goldmine. And this morning I'm going to cover integration options with Goldmine. So you want to link Goldmine with some other software application. Goldmine doesn't need to stand on its own. What kind of options do you have? So quite a technical subject, but I will try and demystify some of the solutions that you've got there. Now, this presentation will be about quarter of an hour or so in duration. It's just an overview of all of the options, not meant to be an in-depth training course. My company, Wizard Systems, offer many services around these different integration options. And if you don't want to do some of these things yourself, then we're on hand to assist you. The audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Probably best to type them in as you think of them rather than waiting till the very last moment. Also at the end, I'll be giving you an update on any Goldmine product news we've got for you. This call is being recorded as well. After the presentation, you will get an email with a link to the recording, which you can obviously play back at your leisure, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. As I normally do on these regular sessions, just in case I'm sure there are a few people on the call that may not have dealt with us before, we are a long-standing supplier of Goldmine and CRM solutions. All we do is CRM. We've implemented well over 3,000 systems in our time, and around Goldmine we've got lots of different services to help you with as regards implementation, customization, integration, of course, what we're going to be talking about today. We also supply a wide range of add-on applications to Goldmine, training at any level and at any location, your place, our place, or online. And we've got a friendly, responsive help desk service as well. So let's get started on the integration options that you've got with Goldmine. So why integrate anything in the first place? Well, it's going to save you time. When you have, typically you've got information about a customer in more than one application. When you integrate things, you only need to enter data in once and it will filter through into the other linked systems. So you're saving time, improving on efficiency and productivity. You're improving accuracy as well, because you're not needing to do things manually. Typically, if you do enter in data twice into multiple applications, maybe some inaccuracies might occur. Next benefit, you're going to have richer information in front of you. All the information when you're calling a customer, all the information from different disparate systems in front of you in one place, rather than routing around, alt-tabbing into different apps, printing off reports. It's all there in front of you on one screen. It could also give you benefits in marketing and reporting as well, because the data is in one place. The whole task can be a lot easier as regards building up a marketing campaign based on the information you've got, and then reporting on from one source rather than multiple sources. And lastly, it could save you money on other application licenses. So we've implemented a number of different integrations to Sage 50, for example. So this gives a Goldmine user real-time access to financial data, but you're not having to pay for a Sage license, so you're saving money. So what are the options then? So the first one is a basic import. Some of you may be familiar with this. If I pop into Goldmine. So in Goldmine, on your file menu, there is an import feature, which allows you to import from a number of different data source types, formats of data. So if you've got, and this will work also with Excel, there is an Excel import with Goldmine. So you've got data somewhere else, you can, in a manual way, map data, map fields, map columns to fields in Goldmine and run the import. You can save that import as an import profile. So if you regularly get data from some other source, some database broker, maybe your accounting system, and I know we do have some customers that are regularly running using this import to import, say, Sage sales data into Goldmine, just high-level financial information. This can work for you. I mean, it's built into Goldmine, but it's a thing that you've got to manually run with that profile. So that's the basic import feature that you've got with Goldmine. Next option, slightly more sophisticated. There is a very popular utility that we supply for Goldmine called Innoport. This is a bit like the Swiss Army knife of Goldmine. This can be set up to do some very sophisticated automated imports from another system automatically into Goldmine based on the mapping that you set. We've got a little bit of information about this on our website. Under our products menu, here's the Innoport tool for Goldmine. And the nice thing about it is that it can do some very clever things like translating data. So for example, in your accounting system, you may be selling something and it's allocated to a territory number maybe, but perhaps in Goldmine in your CRM system, you have allocated companies to a salesperson, a name. So for example, this import tool can translate the number to a name, Fred Bloggs, and put that into the salesperson field automatically for you. And having the scheduled updates as well does make it automatic in the background. A very reliable tool. It's been around for a long time, over a couple of decades for Goldmine. It will also work with QuoteWorks, or sales quotation solution for Goldmine as well. So that's the Innoport tool. You buy it, you put it on your server. You need to set it up. You need to create these import profiles, but it's a nice option for those automated imports. Okay, next option, the Goldmine dashboard. So back into Goldmine then. So this is a dashboard in Goldmine, and what you can do if you're not familiar with this feature of Goldmine is that you can create nice looking KPI charts, bar graphs, tables, display tables of information, interactive tables of information. And this data doesn't have to be just in Goldmine. It is possible to set up data sources, picking in data from other applications. So we've actually done this with Sage 50. We've pulled in information on debtor analysis. So if you imagine that you've got your 30-day accounts that are 30 days overdue, 60 days overdue, 90 days overdue, 120 days, and so on. That can display that data, again, with an interactive table below that. So a nice way of giving users an overall financial view, a read-only view. They're not having access to this back office information, but at least it's giving some kind of summary view of important information in your CRM system. So that's the Goldmine dashboard. We can bring in data from other places and display it in Goldmine in a read-only format. Right, next option, the GM Plus View tab against your contact record. And I'm sure most of you will have stumbled across this, or indeed some of you may use this already. The GM Plus View tab is a bit like a web site, a web page in Goldmine. Let me just pop into Goldmine again and go to a contact record. So this is an example of a GM Plus view showing you a live view of Sage information. As I say, it's a bit like a web page. So almost anything you can do with a web page, you can do with the GM Plus view. So we can bring in information from multiple applications, and working a bit like a web page, we can display it in a pretty way as well, fancy colors, formatting, and so on. And so we've actually set this up with Sage 50 and a few other back office applications, help desk systems as well. A nice way of giving real-time data. And again, it's read-only. It's live information, but it's read-only. The user can't change this Sage data. They're not taking up a Sage license. So picking up on what I said earlier, saving you a bit of money because Sage 50 licenses aren't the cheapest thing in the world. So next option, a report. There are a number of third-party reporting applications that work with Goldmine that allow you to, on one report, to bring in information from multiple applications. So you can do this with Excel. You can do this with Crystal Reports from SAP. You can do this with Power BI, the Microsoft reporting tool that's online. It's a cloud-based reporting system. So you can, a bit like the Goldmine dashboard, you can have one report and you can bring in data from multiple applications. I've got an example of a Crystal Reports report here. This is Crystal Reports, a third-party reporting tool. It can be used with a number of different applications, including Goldmine. And what we're seeing here is the structure of report and where I want fields displayed on this report. So this is something I've done earlier. But I'd just like to show you some little diagram to explain here what I mean. So this is me designing this report, and this is where we can display the different tables of data, the different elements of the data we're looking at in other databases, whether they be SQL databases, Access databases. This is linking to Sage. So this is where we've got on the right-hand side, we've got Goldmine information, your contact tables, contact 1, contact 2, all the various fields relating to a client's record. And then on the left, we've got the various tables where sales information is stored in Sage 50. Your sales ledger, invoices, and then within invoices, we've got individual invoice items. So that's where, when we run this report, and that can be run within Goldmine, this is where we can actually display, again, a pretty much live, it's live as of when you run the report, but it's bringing in information from not only Goldmine, but from other applications as well, not only Sage, Excel, any other database application. So that's using a report as a potential integration option. Now, another sophisticated option that you've got with Goldmine is using what's called the API, the Application Programming Interface, which is a common way of linking two different applications together and automatically taking data from one and putting it into the other. A number of existing solutions that link into Goldmine work in this way, like IntelliClick, like QuoteWorks. Some of you may be using these add-on tools for Goldmine. They're using the API. At Wizard Systems, we're very experienced with the Goldmine API, and we've done much work with other applications that they too have an API. So this is a common protocol that can be used for linking to applications and has been used many, many times with Goldmine over the years to link to similarly API compatible applications together. Next option, the last option, is to think when you want to integrate Goldmine with something else, think has somebody done this before? Goldmine has been around a long time. There's a big community of Goldmine users. Ask Wizard Systems. We've over the years we've implemented many different integration projects. Maybe we've done it before. Maybe the vendor of the application you're linking to, they have integrated Goldmine already. We see this many times with phone systems. Many phone systems suppliers have integrated their phone applications with Goldmine because Goldmine is a fairly popular CRM solution. So before rolling your sleeves up and preparing yourself for some coding or some overly technical solution, think, has someone else done it before? So there's a quick rundown of the integration options that you've got with Goldmine. As I normally do on our regular sessions, open this out now to any questions you've got relating to integration with Goldmine, but I'm happy to answer any Goldmine questions you've got. So locate the question section on your meeting control panel, pop in your questions and I'll do my best to answer those. I've tried to be non-technical in this presentation, trying to be high level. I know there are some IT people on the line, but forgive me if I had to sort of summarize some of the key areas there. So first question from Jay. Have you ever linked with Gmail? Yes, we have with Google Mail, Gmail. We do have a little fact sheet on how to link Goldmine with Gmail so that you can see your Gmails and bring them into Goldmine. Jay, we've got your email address. We'll send you a little FAQ on that, so no problem. Next question from Brent. Can Innoport get data from Epicor? Epicor, I assume, Brent, you mean Epicor, the ERP system. I'm pretty sure, yes, Innoport can link to virtually any data source. And of course, SQL. I think Epicor is an SQL-based system. So yes, we can contact you and we can start exploring that with you if that's a project you want to get involved with. Next question from Jerry. The case part of Goldmine doesn't suit us very well. Is there a third-party application that handles non-conformance? A very good question, Jerry. I think we need to probably get back to you on that. There are a few other help desk applications that have worked with or been designed to integrate with Goldmine. So I guess this is some kind of service or product non-conformance you're wanting to create, maybe possibly using detail records in Goldmine. This is a customizable part of Goldmine. So depending on your requirements there, maybe a custom detail record would work. Nice, simple solution. Another question from Jerry. Is it possible to schedule, for example, every 4 to 12 hours, a data export from Goldmine? Yes, you can. Sorry, this is a question from Wes. Yes, you can with Innoport. I'm pretty sure you can do that with Innoport. It has an export feature as well as an import feature. Possibly also you could do this with a report. Possibly you could do it with SQL as well. So Wes, again, will contact you back after the call and get a little bit more information from you. So there's certainly going to be more than one option for you there, Wes. Okay, well, it doesn't seem to be any more questions coming through, so thanks very much to the four of you for those interesting questions. So just to wrap up with some Goldmine product news I've got for you. Let me just get to my penultimate slide. We do have a goldmine reporting course on Crystal Reports actually next Friday with some places. Please contact us for details if you want to get more into Crystal Reports, more advanced reporting option for goldmine that we touched on this morning, and the latest goldmine. So if you've got a goldmine maintenance contract, that does entitle you to upgrades to goldmine. Latest version is 2018.2. The last update was mid-October. Updates do come out. The minor updates come out every 2 to 3 months. So we are due one sort of December time. So please stay tuned. Subscribe to our goldmine blog. We do email out to make sure you're on our mailing list to get any updates on the goldmine releases there and exactly what any new features that there might be in those latest goldmine releases. As always, if you've got any suggestions for future topics, something that's on your mind as regards goldmine that might be of interest to the wider goldmine community, I'd love to hear from you. Please email any suggestion to us on at tim@wizard-systems.com. Any late questions that have come through, I will answer those separately via email, so don't worry. I'll come back to you right away. But thanks very much for your time this morning. My name again is Tim Wilmot, Wizard Systems, tim@wizard-systems.com. Thanks for your time, and watch out for an email with a link to the recording. Catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.